on Fox Sports 1.
Watch out!
A tournament champion. Who won 3 fights.
That's it! That's it!
In one night. Battles one of the most powerful.
Oh!
Bone-crushing strikers in the octagon.
Mark Munoz!
UFC 184 prelims. Tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports 1.
Our kick-ass fans have made the UFC the fastest-growing sports organization in the world. To say thanks, we've launched UFC Rewards, where you can now earn points by doing things you already do, like visiting us online, watching UFC.tv, buying pay-per-view events, and more. Then redeem your points for things like limited edition collectibles and exclusive experiences that won't be available anywhere else. It's free to join, so visit UFCRewards.com to get started today. UFC Rewards. Get as good as you give.
There has never been a female athlete that is as dominant as Ronda Rousey.
I've never known a girl like you.
Good overhand right by Ronda. And a big throwdown. That's it. Are you kidding me?
Kat Zingano may have the edge in striking and in power.
UFC fans, for the first time since 2012, the Octagon will be inside Staples Center as we welcome you to the official weigh-ins for UFC 184, Rousey versus Zingano. Tomorrow night, only on pay-per-view, the most dominant mixed martial artist in the world today, the UFC's only women's bantamweight champion, the Olympic bronze medalist 10-0, Ronda Rousey, faces the biggest challenge to her UFC supremacy when she fights Kat Zingano. Also unbeaten as a professional, the true top contender has been unstoppable in her UFC career. Also on pay-per-view, 2 more members of the ultra-talented women's bantamweight division collide as Team Tate Ultimate Fighter competitor Raquel Pennington welcomes highly decorated boxer Holly Holm, who is 7-0 in her mixed martial arts career, to the UFC. We'd like to send a special welcome to our UFC Fight Club members and thank our UFC sponsors. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Harley Davidson. The new Street 750 and 500 motorcycles are in. Grab yours and don't look back. See the new motorcycles at harleydavidson.com. Metro PCS. Metro PCS presents the best unlimited 4G LTE plan. $50 period. And Muscle Farm. Fueling athletes safely. And now, to get the official weigh-ins for UFC 184 underway, here is Joe Rogan.
What's happening, my friends? Welcome to the weigh-ins. We got a fearsome foursome of ring card girls. Brittany, Ariane, Vanessa, and Chrissy. Dana White, without him, none of this would be possible. Sean Shelby making an appearance. Lorenzo Fertitta, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Buffer, the voice of the Octagon. Let's get things started. We're going to kick it off in the featherweight division. Macio Bullen versus Alex Torres. First up on the scale, Alex Torres. $145.5 for Mr. Torres. Opponent, Macio Bullen. on UFC Fight Pass, Macio Cullen versus Alex Torres. The next fight takes place in the lightweight division. James Krause versus Valmer Lazaro. Opponent, James Krause. From Mr. Krause. Valmer Lazaro and James Krause, ladies and gentlemen, live on UFC Fight Pass. Next we move on to the Fox Sports 1 prelim. We kick things off in the heavyweight division. Derek Lewis versus Ron Potts. From Mr. Potts. And his opponent, Derek Lewis. For Mr. Lewis. Ron Potts and Derek Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. Next we move to the welterweight division. Diego Lima versus versus Tim, the Dirty Bird Means. And his opponent, Roman Salazar. Mr. Salazar. Kid Yamamoto and Roman Salazar, ladies and gentlemen. 1.25. He has 2 hours to lose the 1.25 pounds. Juan Carnero and Mark Munoz, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we move to the main card, live on pay-per-view. We kick things off in the lightweight division. Tony El Cucuy Ferguson versus Clayson Tebow. And his opponent, winner of the Ultimate Fighter, El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson. $156 for El Cucuy. An excellent fight to kick off the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Ferguson and Clayson Tebow. Next, we move to the welterweight division. Alan Joban versus Richard Walsh. might also take place in the welterweight division. Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger versus Josh Koscheck. And Jake Ellenberger, ladies and gentlemen, let them know. Next, we move to the co-main event of the evening in the women's bantamweight division. Raquel Pennington versus Holly Holm.
ever athlete. There has never been a female fighter that is as dominant as Ronda Rousey has been as the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion. Her judo technique is the best in mixed martial arts. Her armbar technique is the best in mixed martial arts. And I'm not just saying in the women's division, I'm saying in mixed martial arts.
I was always taught that if it goes to a decision, it's a loss, because you can't ever expect anyone to win a fight for you. I never want to let it be in anyone else's hands, because my punishment for letting that happen will be a loss, and I can't let that happen.
For Kat Zingano, Ronda Rousey represents the top of the mountain in women's mixed martial arts.
I don't know that the sport would be where it is without her. Now all of us have a pretty nice path that we can go down that she started, and you know, in my opinion, I'm here to carve new roads.
This would be the most difficult fight that Ronda Rousey has ever had inside the octagon. Kat Zingano may have the edge in striking and in power, and that's one of the things that separates her from perhaps all of the other opponents that Ronda Rousey has faced.
She's definitely the best fighter in the world after me, and deserves this title shot, but despite everything that she's been through, I still work harder than her every single day of my life.
There's a huge part of me that, you know, wants to take on every one of her strengths and beat her at it.
It's such a blessing for me to have a really high caliber opponent like Kat, because I can really show the world that what I can do.
And people continue to ask me, what am I going to do about the armbar? What am I going to do because she's gotten better at this? What am I going to do because of that? What is she going to do when I try to make her face into soup?
And she's a great fighter, but I'm still the greatest fighter in the world.
Ladies and please. Champion! All right, I'm here with the challenger, Kat Zingano. Kat, this represents the biggest night of your athletic career. It's a long time coming. Give us your thoughts on tomorrow and the opportunity to fight for the title.
Watch this.
Very thankful to have